And tonight we begin with a tragic story out of eastern Arizona. Two young girls have died, and their 3-year-old sister is fighting for her life in the hospital after a horrific UTV crash. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Caribe Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Tonight we're hearing from the Greenlee County Sheriff, who was the first to respond to that traumatic scene. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono is live in studio with us. And Bianca, this had to be a tremendously tough scene, even for first responders.
Yeah, it was. The sheriff tells us the particular area where this family was off-roading has no signal whatsoever, so they had to respond to this with no communication. And when they finally made it out to that family, it was very emotional for everyone involved.
I've been in law enforcement for 28 years.
But in that time, Greenlee County Sheriff Eric Ellison has never responded to a scene as traumatic as what he saw on Friday night.
The call came out at 5:21, and it came out of a very remote area.
Lower Eagle Creek, a recreational area known for off-roading that's so remote, cell phones and radios don't work.
We were able to receive a text message from the subjects indicating that they were in a rollover.
A family from New Mexico was out on a Polaris RZR, the father driving with the mother in the passenger seat, and their 3 young daughters, ages 10, 4, and 3, seatbelted in the back. Officials learned they were crossing a creek.
And on one side of the creek, it's about 2.5, 3 foot of water, but on the other side of the creek, just south of it, it drops off to about an 8-foot drop. And he ended up getting into the 8-foot drop.
The side-by-side rolling upside down, trapping all 3 girls in the back seat. It took first responders close to 2 hours to get there and find the family.
As I was going to the scene, I saw a side-by-side coming out, and they had a little baby with them, a 3-year-old, and they indicated that they were looking for help.
The sheriff sent 1 deputy with the 3-year-old while he continued to the creek. There, the 10-year-old girl and her 4-year-old sister didn't survive. The 3-year-old girl is now fighting for her life in the hospital, while her parents are left to cope with an unimaginable tragedy.
It was devastating.
As the sheriff and his fellow first responders are still reeling from what they witnessed, he says the area of Lower Eagle Creek is growing in popularity, urging those who visit to beware of rising water.
Make sure you know what the depth is before you cross.
And a GoFundMe page has been set up to help this family with funeral costs. You can find a link to donate on our website, 12news.com. We're live in studio. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
Such a tragic story, Bianca. Thank you. Developing news out of Phoenix. Police are investigating after 2 children were shot at a recreation center. It happened around 6 p.m. in the area of 23rd and Mizona Avenues. That's near the Mark Atkinson Rec Center. When police got to the scene, they found a boy and a girl with gunshot wounds. Police have not released their ages, but kids were taken to the hospital. Both of them were, with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators say that they're still looking for the person or people responsible, adding that they left the scene before police got there.
Tonight, disturbing video out of the West Valley shows a Peoria man beating a small dog with a shovel, killing it. Peoria police still haven't arrested the man because they're waiting on the county attorney's office. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly spoke with the dog's heartbroken owners this afternoon about this horrible case of animal cruelty. And a warning, this video is very hard to watch.
It was on Friday when the Peoria couple tells me their beloved Chihuahua was killed in the middle of the day. Now, again, a warning to our viewers. While you don't see the attack happen, some may still find it disturbing.
I get upset every time I see that video. I get really mad.
Heartbroken and livid.
It was so many emotions at once.
Isaac and Brianna, who live in Peoria, can't believe this video shows their beloved dog getting beaten to death by their neighbor with a shovel. It shows the man run over, swinging toward the ground 3 times before tossing the dog's body.
He was our best friend, for real. He was our protector. He was lovable.
Both had this 6-pound Chihuahua for years.
I became a family dog and everybody loved him.
On Friday, the couple tells me they had just gotten back from dinner when a neighbor called them and said they had seen another neighbor throw their dog over his fence.
And I'm just like, what do you mean?
They said he must have gotten out and found his way to the neighbor's yard. When they walked over, they found him not moving on the ground. His eyes were bulging and his head covered in blood.
And I talked to him, it's okay, boy, it's okay. And I would talk to him the way I used to.
Isaac saying he died in their arms moments later.
We were upset. We're like, why would you do this? Like, what happened?
Peoria police were called, and according to them, the neighbor said he only meant to hit the dog on his backside. He also said it was an act of self-defense, as he was trying to protect his cat and chickens from the 6-pound Chihuahua.
I don't believe it after seeing the video.
His story about him trying to hit our dog in the butt just doesn't make sense. He was going straight for the kill.
Both Brianna and Isaac tell me they trust in police to handle this matter, believing it's really the only way for them to get justice. We're in the newsroom. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thank you. Dene College on the Navajo Nation is back open after a fire shut down its main campus last week. The fire burned half of the school's student union building, which had records that date back all the way to the 1950s, as well as the school store. It also left the school without heat. 2 suspects were identified by the Navajo Police Department. One of those suspects has been arrested.
Tonight, the murder conspiracy case against Lori Vallow Daybell is in the hands of the jury. The Doomsday Mom has already been convicted of killing 2 of her children in Idaho. Now she's on trial here for conspiring with her brother to kill her former husband, Charles Vallow, back in 2019.
12 News journalist Erica Stapleton was inside the courtroom today as the prosecutor and Vallow Daybell presented their closing arguments. And Erica, how did things go down?
Jury deliberations did not go very far, partly because of how long it took to get through closing arguments Monday afternoon. Vallow Daybell spoke in her own defense for about 15 minutes, while the prosecutor spoke for more than an hour and a half, revisiting all the testimony, witnesses, and evidence in the case. The prosecutor laid out what she said was a clear conspiracy between Lori Vallow Daybell and her brother, Alex Cox, to plan the murder of her former husband, Charles Vallow. But Vallow Daybell, who is representing herself, maintained that the shooting was done in self-defense.
Why does the state want to blame someone for this tragic event? What evidence did the state show you in this trial that I wanted harm to come to my husband? We learned in this trial that I was praying for my husband. We learned in this trial that even though my husband and I were having marital issues, that we were both trying to do the best things for our son with special needs, JJ.
The execution of Charles Vallow is not a family tragedy. There is nothing that you can say about shooting a man as he lay on the ground that you can try to construe in any way to make that a family tragedy.
The case went to the jury just after 3 o'clock on Monday afternoon, and soon after, the jury told the judge they wanted to go home for the night. Jury deliberations will continue Tuesday morning. Erica Stapleton, 12 News.
And remember to make sure that you have 12 Plus downloaded on your TV. That's where we'll be streaming the verdict as soon as it comes in.
Tonight, the world is praying for Pope Francis. These are live pictures right now from St. Peter's Square in Vatican City. 7:10 on Tuesday morning there as the sun comes up nearly a day after the 88-year-old pontiff passed away. Pope Francis' death came just a day after he greeted supporters from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica to celebrate Easter. Vatican officials say he suffered a stroke that prompted irreversible heart failure. That was after a 5-week stay in the hospital a few months ago with pneumonia in February and in March. Here in the Valley, St. Mary's Basilica in Phoenix held a special prayer service known as Solemn Vespers to mourn the Pope's death. Parishioners telling 12 News they wanted to celebrate the Pope's life and legacy.
Pope Francis was just a great man, and we hope we get another Pope just like him. It's just so sad. He was such an awesome Pope. Love him to death, and he was for the people.
The Diocese of Phoenix will hold 2 special masses for Pope Francis. The first will be tomorrow at 6 o'clock tomorrow night at St. Mary's. The other is on Sunday at 9 a.m. at St. Simon and Jude Cathedral.